In InfosOde 11, I talked to you all about careers in AR and VR. Those careers were AR and VR hardware and software engineers, UI and UX designers, and 3D artists. So to wrap all that up, I wanted to share with you all what I mentioned briefly in that InfoSode, what is called a Immersive Social Experience. And I did this at a place or a company called Sandbox VR. And what I did was went there with about 4 or 5 more friends, and we did this VR experience, and you get immersed into this environment so you can pick different adventures, I would say, or scenarios. They had like a Star Trek, zombies, Call of Duty type of deal, and we did the zombie one, and you'll see that in the video. But the reason that I'm showing you all this video today is because I wanted you to see how all these different careers can come together. So I talked about things in the video, in the InfoSode, like collaboration, analytical, critical thinking skills, and communication, working with teams and partners and all that. And this end product that you'll see, this experience, is, like I said, a culmination of all those things coming together. So you have your hardware that you have to actually put on. You have your hardware peripherals. So a lot of times when we think about AR and VR, we just think about the headsets that we wear. But in this case, when you have an experience like this, you'll see in the video these little guns or these little things that you hold in your hands. And in our case, they were used as pistols. So you have to have all that working with the software, and it has to be tracked by the software so that you're tracking at the right thing in the actual VR environment. So it's pretty neat. They did have a user interface, and you won't see that in this video, but I'll talk about it really briefly. It's really simple because this is a product or a service or a form of entertainment that is meant to serve a lot of people. So it's very simple. You had where you would go in there and you would select your weapon. In our case, it was for the guns. And then you had the user interface once you got inside of the mansion that you would have to go and interact with or press something in between missions. Another thing that I'll talk about a little bit when the video starts playing is the barriers and the more free range that this form of VR had. The range of motion that you had is much more open than a traditional VR headset that you would play with in your home. So there is a user interface, this red grid that comes up once you get to the edge of the border where you couldn't shoot or it wouldn't pick you up. And then they have hardware, they have cameras around the ceiling that helps with the tracking. So the software and hardware team has to work together on all those things in order to make the game function. And of course, you'll see the work that the 3D artist does with the character models and the environment. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video to let you all see the experience. Now I will say that I'm going to mute the video because there is a lot of cursing going on in this video. Not for me, because I wasn't scared. The people that I with, well, they're scary, but you'll see. So the video is starting. What you can see is a 3D environment that the 3D artists have built out. You will probably have people that specializes in characters. You will have people who specialize in just the environment. So the mansion in this case, talk about texturing in InfosOde 11. So you can see the floor, the ceiling tiles, the rain effects, the fur, all that stuff. So you have to have somebody who's good at that as well. Then you see it switches in between the digital environment and the real world environment. And so right here, you will see we're trying not to get hit by this laser grid, kind of like this Resident Evil type of deal. So we had to step in a certain spot so we didn't get lasers. So that's just again a combination of the hardware and software working together. I'm going to play the video over again because a couple more things I just want to call out. And again, you can see the actual physical environment. We don't have those things connected to us, those wires and cables that will be typically plugged into your gaming console or system and into a wall outlet. With this, the computer and the battery were all in that backpack that you saw us wearing, and it was used to power the peripherals such as the headsets and the guns that we were using. So it was a really cool experience. That's another thing, you know, just with hardware as well. You're not limited to just the headset. So when we think about AR and VR, that's typically the only thing that we think about is the headset. You know, that is the primary hardware that you will be using, or we will be using, when interacting with those two types of technology. But there's also these other peripherals that go along with it to enhance the AR and VR experience. More specifically, VR, since it is this immersive environment and you need something to navigate in that digital environment with outside of your body. That's it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Again, follow me on all the social medias at OFL Insight. And until next time, keep your dreams in sight. Peace.